When is the best time to sell a house in Colorado Springs? It's March. March is the best time. It used to be May, and now it's March. If you want to sell quick, then sell in March. If you want to sell for the most money, then you sell in April, May, June, or July. July is going to be your biggest month as far as making the most amount of money, but March is the quickest. As far as days of the week, sell on a Thursday or listed on a Thursday, maybe a Friday, but statistically, Thursday is the best day of the week to list your property. And the reason for that is because you have everybody getting ready to make their weekend plans. And so when you list on a Thursday, you give a chance for people to do their Friday, Saturday, and Sunday showings. If you list on a Sunday or a Monday, not a great day of the week to do it. So during the spring and summer and before the weekend should be the obvious answer to this question. Spring is really that best time where people are really getting going on listing property and getting out there to purchase property. And then by the time summertime rolls around, you've got this biggest demand in the season. That's during the summertime. So obviously, if you want to sell your property and get peak optimal value for it, you sell it during the summertime. The worst time to sell it would be October, September, and that's when I would tell buyers that's the best time to buy property. Realtor.com, I think, just came out with an article that said the first week of October is the best week to buy because you just get the most amount of money. Sellers are kind of in a panic at that point of that season, at that time of the year, and are potentially more willing to drop the price or give concessions to buyers at that point. So yeah, not a great time to sell then, great time to buy. The other strategy I would give you is sell when the mortgage rates drop. Mortgage rates aren't going to drop right now, are they? Because the Fed is still wavering about, are they going to do anything? Because people are saying, well, maybe they'll drop the basis points. No, they won't. They're going to raise them, if anything, but if anything, they'll keep them level. They'll keep everything where it's at for a while to continue to monitor. They need consistent data for a while before they start doing anything again. So I don't expect the interest rates to go back down through that. The other way interest rates could go back down is if the banks, with their spread that they add on after they buy the money from the feds, if they reduce that spread because it's almost double what it typically is, then you'd have the interest rate drop. But the banks have that extra points built in because they're worried about a recession. And that's all you're hearing. Every month of every year, it's, oh, a housing crisis, or this person said there's going to be a recession. And what happens? Nothing happens, does it? So people like to do this fear mongering, and it doesn't go anywhere. A broken clock is right twice a day. Regardless, if the mortgage interest rates drop, that's a great time for you to sell, because now you can get more buyers in the market who could not previously potentially afford, or who were waiting for the interest rates to drop because they like that monthly rate better. And then you're bringing all those buyers in to look at your property and potentially getting more offers on your property. And if you can combine that, and you can't control this, but if you can combine that with next year and say spring and summer 2024, that's when our seasonal prices are going to start coming back up. Time that, wouldn't it be amazing if the rates dropped right at that point? So right now, at this point, when I record this in September 2023, not the best time to sell. I mean, not the worst time either. It's just prices hit their high point in June 2023, and now they're starting to come down. So July, August, and now September, prices have started to coast down on their average and median. And the trend in prices that I've seen for 2023 has followed very similarly to 2022. And what that means, and I mean, not just for 2022, but every year, like historically, we have the seasonal ups and downs of prices. for the summertime, it comes up, and the wintertime, it comes back down. And it does that every year. And so if we're going to follow last year's trend in what home prices did and how much of a dip they took from September to December, they took a 5% drop. So like a 500K house would be 475K by December. You know, if you sold the 500K house worth 500K right now in September would sell for 475 that December. That's what I'm expecting. And so if you've got a cheaper house, you know, a little bit less, a more expensive house, a little bit more than that. But that's what I was seeing was 25K drop in a 500K house for last year. So that's what I'm expecting that trend to do this year. And then you're going to get that back this spring in 2024. The housing market is slowing down. There's not as many buyers right now, and it's going to get worse as we get closer to December. So yes, when you're selling property right now, you kind of are scrambling to go, oh, I need to get back under contract. And it's not an awful situation because the inventory here is so low that you'll still find a buyer. Housing market slowing down, right? We have 181 new listings in the past 7 days. We have 1545 active properties in Colorado Springs right now. We have 853 under contract properties and 382 September sales. That's a low number of sales. So we've been getting anywhere from 700 to 900 property sales month on any given month for the past several months now. And back in the summertime, that was more in the thousands per month. So I'm expecting sales to be maybe 600 property sales by the end of September, but I mean, we'll see. September 2022 had 1,054 sales for that month, just for a reference. Right now, for September 2023, the average sales price in Colorado Springs is $509,670. The median sales price is $455,000. That average and median, those numbers are about the same as what we had last month in August. But I am expecting, as we get more data in for the month, for those September numbers to drop a little bit from there. Right now, properties are on market an average of 32 days and a median of 15 days. If you're looking at properties that are $500,000 and up, that's going to be an average of 44 days and a median of 25 days. So obviously, it's going to take a little bit more time for the more expensive properties to sell, but they're still going to. Interest rates are somewhere between 7.194% and 7.3%, and that's according to either Optimal Blue or Mortgage News Daily, whichever one you want to look at. Properties are getting an average of 4.3 showings per week. And if you're looking at properties that are at least $500,000 and up, those properties are getting an average of 3.58 showings per week. So the housing market is still moving. It's just been forcibly slowed by the higher interest rates and by the increasing home prices here. I'm not expecting a housing crash. I'm not expecting a housing recession. Even if we have a recession of some kind, I'm not expecting the housing market here to be affected that much because it's Colorado Springs. Do you live here? If you don't live here, even if you live here, you should know. I'm going to tell you, we've got 5 military installations here. We've got Space Force base that's just confirmed to stay here. We've got Amazon, who is building, or I don't know if they're building another distribution center, but they're adding on like 1,000 more employees to Colorado Springs. Like, it's growing here. It continues to grow. We're continuing to get more tech and DoD jobs here. Like, it just doesn't stop. The growth is continual. People are scrambling to try to figure out how to create more affordable housing, as well as be able to expand the police force with an extra police training academy and another 80 police officers just to service the city. So our city is continually still providing incentives to businesses, to government, to people just moving here. We've got 10,500 new residents who moved to El Paso County every single year, and that's just growing. Colorado Springs is going to be the biggest city in the state of Colorado by 2050, surpassing even Denver. I mean, this is not going to stop. So it's just up to you and what your personal needs are when you're considering when the best time to sell your property is. I'm Kevin James Bond with RE/MAX Real Estate Group. I'm a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Colorado, and I work primarily in the Colorado Springs area. If you have any questions about selling or buying property here, please reach out to me and I would love to answer any questions that you have. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.